According to Isaac Chamberlain, MIKAEL LAWAL are getting cold feet about taking on Isaac on the undercard of BILLIAM Smith versus Okolie. This is fight week. According to Isaac, MIKAEL had some issue with a tooth, which MIKAEL believed could be too dangerous for him to fight with. I don't know what's happening. The fight is still up on BoxRec. It's for the British Cruiserweight title. I was really looking forward to it. Is it still going ahead? We'll have to see. BILLIAM Smith is a flat-footed mid-range hooker. Not much head movement. He's fit, he's strong. They've worked on tightening up his guard and shortening up his punches. They're doing the best they can with BILLIAM Smith, and he's been relatively successful. He has good power, 12 inside the distance and 17 victories. Only one defeat to Richard Riakporhe, a split decision loss in 2019. He's got wins over the likes of Isaac Chamberlain, 2 wins over Tommy McCarthy. The first one was a real battle. The second time, Chris done a lot better in the rematch. Let's just say that. Chris is durable. He took the best from Isaac Chamberlain. And Isaac, you know, he's pretty useful. He's a pretty useful box puncher. That's a common opponent that BILLIAM Smith and Lawrence Okolie have, is Isaac Chamberlain. Lawrence handled him a lot easier, although it was one of them displays that has got Lawrence this reputation, has possibly made him one of the UK's more unpopular fighters because of the holding, hugging, grappling tactics. Chris, I don't think will be able to box the 6'5", 82.5-inch reach Okolie from range. No, I don't believe so. Chris, not a small cruiserweight himself, he's 6'3", but Okolie has advantages in foot and hand speed. He has the more consistent jab, very long reach. He has more variety and a few different ways where he can attack from than Chris has. Chris has to use his own jab, double up that jab, possibly not always throw it to the head, jab at the chest, get inside and try and land left hooks to the body, slow Lawrence up, and hopefully in the later rounds, if he's successful doing that, he can take over and possibly get what would be for me the huge upset win. Obviously, after sparring hundreds of rounds with Lawrence, when they were both under the tutelage of Shane McGuigan, they'll have the inside track of what Lawrence is about. But you could say the same for Lawrence. Who has the advantage? Who will gain more for the fact they used to train together under the same gym? Well, Lawrence knows how Shane trains BILLIAM Smith, and he knows how he trained him. I don't think what Shane and Chris know about Lawrence will be enough from them preventing Lawrence doing what he wants to do, even though they know he's going to do it. I think Chris is just too limited. It's going to be interesting to see what Sugar Hill adds to Okolie's game. Will Okolie resort to clinching, wearing down tactics, or will this be what will be a relief for the fans? The last we see of that with Sugar Hill. Okolie's go-to move is the 1-2. And since it's Sugar Hill's first fight with Okolie, I don't think he's going to want to deviate too much from that. Any major changes he plans to make with Lawrence has to come after this fight here. They haven't been together that long, it's just a couple of months. Okolie will want to hold the ring center, keep the circles he boxes in as small as possible, keep control of range where Chris is at a disadvantage, bang that jab in, follow up with the right hand. It would be good if he could introduce some other shots, perhaps try walk Chris into some uppercuts from either hand, a bit more hooking off the jab, a bit more variety. Great angle to whip some body shots in. We don't see that much from Lawrence. Why not? Just because you're a tall guy, it doesn't mean you leave body work to the shorter guys. You can throw body shots too. Taller guys should be able to throw good shots to the body. We saw Devin Haney throwing some very good body shots on Saturday against Lomachenko. But Okolie will just be happy with holding on to his belt. BILLIAM Smith fighting in his hometown, Bournemouth. He's going to be fit, strong, very determined. This is a real fight. There's no question about that. He's going to have the crowd. It's going to be a pro-BILLIAM Smith crowd. They're going to be roaring him on. Chris is one of them guys who doesn't really look at what the other fighters can do in terms of they might be faster, have quicker feet than him, faster hands. He doesn't focus on that. He just focuses on doing the best he can with what he has. And that, not just in boxing, but makes people become the best versions of themselves. Shane and Chris will want to keep it simple and be as effective as they possibly can. Chris must avoid freezing on Saturday. He must avoid freezing. He's got to be calm, prepared to carry out the game plan. Lawrence, not a great infighter as far as I'm concerned. They want to try and take advantage of that, get the crowd on their side. If Okolie finds himself in a situation where he's clinching and hugging, they want to take advantage of that. Hopefully the crowd will start booing, put Lawrence under some pressure, gesture to the referee to do something about it, get Lawrence out of his groove and his comfort zone, make him fight inside. Because if they can't do that, I don't see how BILLIAM Smith wins the fight. Just being honest. Just being honest. I believe right now public opinion in the United Kingdom would prefer a BILLIAM Smith win. And if Chris can outwork Lawrence Okolie, I don't see a stoppage, but you never know. Chris can do better than what people expect he's going to do. If he gets to the scorecards in a scenario like that, he could take Lawrence's WBO belt. I'm going to predict a UD for Okolie, possible stoppage between 10 and 12. Chances of an upset, I won't say slim and none. I'll say slim and perhaps unlikely.
Remember, there's a need to get along. Again, I said I was a time bomb.
Conor BENN, walking time bomb, waiting to self-destruct and get himself in a whole load of shit. Or was it staged by Eddie Hearn to put the wheels in motion for a big domestic showdown between BROOK and BENN? Seemed a bit random that they just met each other and got that close to each other. Maybe they were just there for the boxing. BROOK said they will lock horns. Conor is threatening that it will be his funeral, all these legends calling him out. He won't turn down the payday, but he'll finish them easy. Stay retired, mate. Putting your hands on me, you'll get hurt. Yeah, BROOK did kind of put his hand up, but not aggressively. I mean, if Conor's saying that was aggressive, it's basically a case of any excuse to go off then, isn't it? Conor is another disliked British fighter, but I think they're more likely to pay to see him at the moment than Lawrence Okolie. Is Conor embracing the villain role? I don't know. I know Kell Brook's got a temper. I think Kell Brook would have been angrier than that if somebody pushed him. I have a feeling it's staged. A little staged. But do I care if we get the fight? No, of course I don't.
Rest it, beefy. Rest it, beefy. Rest it, beefy. Rest it, man. Where are you real? That's what I said.
Where I said beefy. So, EUBANK versus Liam Smith 2 was rescheduled for June the 17th. Liam Smith got injured. I don't know if the injury was disclosed. I haven't heard that he's injured a leg or an arm. They just said he's injured. They rescheduled for June the 1st. Liam Smith is now saying he won't be ready for June the 1st. Speculation now is that the bout is going to be shelved. Now, Liam, my old son, as a southerner to a northerner, I think you pulled the right little scally move on Chris. I do. Yeah. Liam is thinking, why give Chris the chance of revenge? He can go on and fight for world titles. They were talking about Johnny Beck. Johnny Beck will beat Liam Smith. Conor BENN spoke to Liam Smith, and he said he doesn't think the EUBANK Smith fight is happening. There's no immediate rematch. So it looks like they're looking for something else rather than that. There is a rematch clause in play, but if the guy's injured, then what's EUBANK going to do? Is he going to wait around for Liam Smith? Perhaps it's time to look for a new opponent and just rebuild from there. I hear they've recruited David Haye to the stable. If you recruit David Haye and Roy Jones is there as well, you might as well go full out ambush fighter, because that's what David Haye used to do. David Haye used to emulate Roy's style. Drop the left hand, slight crouch, chin down from that wide leg stance. Keep the opponent guessing, moving the head and torso side to side, and then look to explode with power shots. Chris might as well go whole hog if this is going to be the setup, his camp setup. After Chris lost to Liam, they were talking about revisiting the Conor BENN fight, but they opted for the Liam Smith fight, and now that's out the window. He might be regretting that he didn't pursue the Conor BENN fight harder than what he did. Meanwhile, EUBANK Sr. is seeking justice for his son Sebastian, who drowned in shallow water at Caesars Palace Resort in Dubai a couple of years back. A court writ alleges wrongful death in negligence by Caesars Entertainment Nevada, the management company of Caesars Palace Resort in Dubai, where Sebastian drowned in shallow water covered by CCTV when he was 29 years of age. He suffered a cardiac arrest and slumped fatally into the water. Legal papers, which independent experts say could lead to a payout in the tens of millions, claim lifeguards found his ID and belongings on the beach, which is covered by CCTV, but it's alleged staff went home without searching for him and he was only found the following morning. Lawyers claim he may have survived if he had got swift attention. Now, before anyone says Chris is just bent out of shape and he's on the warpath, Chris is actually backing Sebastian's widow. He was a married man. His wife, his widow, Salma, she wants justice for her husband. Papers were filed on Friday afternoon by lawyers at a court in Nevada, Las Vegas, home to the resort's management company, Caesars Entertainment. He said, "We can't bring Sebastian back, but we can do this for him." And he says, "I'm sure Caesars will do what is right." Sebastian leaves behind a son, Raheem, and yeah, EUBANK Sr. is taking it hard, and so is Junior. His wife too. I'm wondering now, with Senior, why he was so against Chris fighting Conor. Was it really because of the weight making, or he just didn't think it was a good time for Chris to get back in the ring? That grief takes a long time to get over, you know.
You listen. Let's be honest. All right? Let's be frankly honest. Let's go there. Let's go where nobody wants to go. All right. The small percentage of people that still had Haney winning the fight and are happy that Haney got this decision are the ones that are happy the white guy lost. That's it. That's the small percentage of people. And yo, I got one more little tidbit for you. I'll break it to you here. Bob re-signed Haney 2 nights before the fight. Okay?
No way.
2 nights before the fight.
That's
Beats, do you have any receipts?
There's rumours that he signed another 2-fight extension with Top Rank. First of all, do you know anything about that? And secondly, have you spoken to him? Will you speak to him about coming back to match her?
I don't believe he signed a new contract with Top Rank. I think Coppinger came out and said that's not the case.
What do I owe you, Paulie? What do I owe you?
Go where nobody wants to go. All right. The small percentage of people that still had Haney winning the fight and are happy that Haney got this decision are the ones that are happy the white guy lost. That's it.
You know, Paulie's coming out like he's big and bad. I'm gonna say what everyone freaked to say. But what's he really saying? It's not that impressive. Out of his own mouth, he said, a small percentage of those who agreed with the decision just wanted the white guy to lose. Well, if it's a small percentage, why are you focusing on that? And Paulie has to realize you can't bully black people into supporting Lomachenko over Devin Haney. And if black people choose to be biased, like a small percentage of Lomachenko fans were biased against Devin, that's up to them. Who is Paulie to tell black Americans how to feel about black fighters? Who is he? Paulie's holding a mirror to black America now? Or a small percentage, as he says? Well, if it's a small percentage, why bother? Get over it. And it's not just about Paulie. I don't want to rake up what happened 2-3 years ago with the PBC fans, but they said some mad shit about white British fans, about black British fans. You're coons and you're racist and just stupid shit. So let's not do the innocent, you're guilty thing, because this point scoring is doing what? What's the end goal? The end game of it? If you're a lame, you're a lame. I done a hangout, a post-fight hangout. I had Chris Caban on there. Chris Caban is a black man. He had it a draw. Blackout, he says beats, morning, big up, blackout.
I had it a draw. I ain't got nobody winning on my card.
Let's say Paulie was right, and Devin did re-sign with Top Rank 2 days before the fight. And they stacked the deck against Lomachenko with the scorecards. So what? That would be because Devin is black? Or would it be because the money is green? And maybe they see the upside is with Devin? It would be a financial decision, not a color decision. And according to Eddie, Bob didn't even realize the mic was on, telling Lomachenko you was robbed. They shouldn't have had 3 American judges.
Sorry, man.
No problem.
You won that fight easy.
Right here. Hey, woman, right here.
You won that fight easy.
Yes.
Easy.
What else? Hey, yes. Question?
I know.
Doesn't sound like he was in cahoots with Devin to conspire against Loma. It doesn't sound like it. But to Paulie, he is something totally different because the boy's cuckoo.
Cause the boy ain't shit.
Don't let Paulie get you bent out of shape.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't think I'll raise a thing with our race. That's gonna be my stick, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna monetize it on social media.
Paulie.